Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to polish. This is a necklace that I got in a $5.49 Goodwill buy the bag. I bought it way before Christmas, and then I opened them up just right around Christmas time, and it is a Raphael, Canada. I believe they were from the 70s, and it has like a little kind of a honey color or amber color cabochon in there. I don't know. I imagine it's just glass, but the comparisons sell for anywhere between $200 and $300 on Etsy, similar by the same designer. So I'm going to give this a little glow up. I've got my semi-chrome polish, which is good for polishing any kind of metal. It's actually good for polishing plastic as well. And also it can be used to test Bakelite. I have some ammonia, Windex actually, but yeah, just a window cleaner, and then a nice warm, just basically warm water for neutralizing. I've got some Q-tips in case I need to get around some of the finer areas. It's a nice little oval flattened link cable chain. There's some verdigris right there on there. That just means it's turning green because of the copper content in it. So it is brass. These are just some nice little hammered out bones. I do believe it's all handcrafted with a hammered brass. And then you can see where it's been soldered around the bezel. So it is a handcrafted item and stamped by the designer. I'm going to put my gloves on today just because it can get a little harsh when doing this. I will probably do this one video with me yapping away on it, and then I'll do another video, or I'll just re-edit it with just the cleaning of the item. So I do like to give it a little dunk in the ammonia, because you can use vinegar. I've used ketchup to polish my brass before when times were tough. So you can use vinegar, Windex, just to get that initial verdigris off and stuff like that. I usually have like a little paintbrush too, but I forgot to bring it in here. But I probably won't need it for this because it's in such good shape. And I do believe it's been coated in something. You probably put like a shellac on it or something, but just to get that initial age off of it. Now, some people might like the patina, and that is fine. It will re-patina. Trust me, brass won't take long. I know that's probably a very annoying sound. That's probably louder than my voice, but I'll let that sit for a minute or two. I am not sponsored by anybody whatsoever. One of the things I'm going to be cleaning up later is also this. I got this for $3 at my local Salvation Army. Actually, no, it's thrift store. It's literally called the thrift store downtown today. And it was a little misshapen. I gave it a little squeeze with my pliers, but I do believe it's quite old. And I think it might have had some rhinestones in there, but I'm going to probably give a little cleaning video on that too. So I'm going to set that aside. So that's probably long enough for that. I'm just going to get a little piece of paper towel, a couple of them. I guess I'm going to get 3 or 4 in there. Okay, this is an awkward shape and style, so it's got a lot of moving parts. I will just give it a quick. Now, the semi-chrome, I believe, has ammonia in it also, so I'm not really worried about the mixing of chemicals on this. And that has been coated. Gonna give a little test. Put it right on there. Sometimes I put the semi-chrome right on the thing, and I just draw from it a little bit at a time. Give a little test with my Q-tips and see just what we're looking at here. It'll polish up, I think, quite nicely. The patina is nice. Now I'll give that a little. A lot of times what I like to do is put it right in my hand with a whole bunch of the Chrome right in it. But I will go just to see what I'm working with. Okay, so I will do that. I'm going to just take a little chunk of this in my hand. It's not cheap. That is not cheap. I try to use it as sparingly as possible because it can run around $45 a tube depending on the supplier. And sometimes you can get, and that's Canadian, so I don't know what that is. American, maybe 35, somewhere in there. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 tubes at a discount. You buy more than one. Brass, when it's polished nicely, can look almost like gold. It does have a, I like bronze better. I don't know if this is bronze. I don't think it is bronze. It's just a little warmer feeling in the color. It can look quite nice. The one thing about brass is that it'll tarnish, but it'll also polish, whereas something that's, you know, maybe a silver metal of some sort, and then brass is or gold tone is over top of it, it will wear off, and then you're stuck with something that's never going to look the same again. So that's why I don't mind brass. Now this has had a coating. I'm not sure what, it's probably shellac of some sort that they put on it. I don't know, maybe I'm detracting from the value of it. This could be. I just want to see it shine. I'll probably wear this myself. I bet it's just got a lot of grime. I'm pretty sure it's a coating. But the coating is wearing off, so I can't see how polishing it would detract from it, because whatever it is just kind of flaking off. It looks kind of junky. That's just my personal opinion. Whether that's worth 2 cents or not, I have no idea. But I do know when it's polished up, it's quite nice. I would probably speed this part up so you're not going to miss much. You can see it can get very black. I like the way it looks when it's polished up, because you can see the hand hammered aspect of it coming up nice and shiny. Napkin here is taking a beating. kind of interesting that you can actually see the solder, so you know it's handmade. Brass will turn your skin kind of a greenish black if it's worn right next to your skin. So something like this I would suggest wearing over top of your clothes, not right directly next to your skin. Not a lot of people think about those kind of things when they buy something, and then they wonder why, if it's solid metal, why it's turning their skin a certain color, because it's not a cheap item, but it's still turning your skin. So people wonder about that. It's just whatever's in the copper. I've got a hook clasp. It's kind of bent. I'll fix that with my pliers. Get another little piece of really going through the paper towel. I often wonder how many trees contribute to the death of, or the unaliving of the trees. I guess I can't say that word on YouTube, can you? I'm not monetized or anything. I appreciate my 24 plus subscribers very much, so I'm not trying to minimize that by any means. That is already looking nicer. I hope this is turning out. A lot of times when I do longer videos, I run into issues that I didn't foresee because I'm still fairly new at this. But I am going to plunge that in there again in a second. I just want to get another bone. I guess they call these bones because they kind of resemble a bone. Another piece. I better get that lid in there because I very often lose my lids. Don't want to lose my lid. Kind of see how it's already brightening it up a little bit. And that will get off the rest of the simichrome that's on there. So it's resembling gold more. I'm already impressed by that. That looks quite nice. You know, whether I'll list this, I'll do a little more research on that and see approximately what I think somebody would pay for it. When I list, everything includes the shipping, and if it's going over to the States, I include the tariff cost into it as well. I absorb that into it. Who knows where that's going from here. Just an adventure every day. But so far that's really nice. Now there was a spot where there was some of that green, and it's already, I've got my floppy gloves on here, but the green is coming off, and just left with some spots that need some more more polish on them. I am going to just neutralize that with some water. Sounds a little counterintuitive. It doesn't rust like steel will, but it will go green if it's not dried properly either. So we don't want that to happen. I just want to neutralize the ammonia. And a little flip and a flop and a flap. And we are coming along here. Look at that. It's already quite a bit nicer in color, tone. Very gold tone now. Get rid of those. And I will. Got one more paper towel here, handy anyway. As you can see, it's a lot of elbow grease as opposed to, anything else. The glass is still in really good shape. I don't think that's a citrine. I'll have to do some investigating, but it might be. But there's a bubble in there, so no, it's not. It's glass. Mystery solved. I am going to just one more. And then I'll put the lid on then, so I won't use any more. It's kind of like when I have my cookies, and if I close the box, it means I'm not having any more. But then I can still open it again if I have to. Okay, so there's just like some little spots here and there. I'm going to go in and rework. Sometimes a little bit of those imperfections are nice left on there, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get it right down to the brass, literally. It's not dry enough, so it's almost a mirror polish. Look at that, quite nice. There we go. The water was keeping it from actually polishing out. There's all these fiddly little spots up here that let's see. Wow. All little fiddly spots. Okay, that's better. Maybe you're not seeing what I'm seeing. I'm not looking through the camera, so I can see these little dark spots all through it. And then I think that's no, it's not a solder joint. I don't know what that is. Almost looks rusty. So one thing I didn't do, maybe I did. I think I magnet tested it, but it's so obviously brass that I didn't feel the need to, but you can prove me wrong maybe. Nope, not steel. Okay, now I'm going to just, this is where I usually have a polishing cloth, but I don't have here with me this time. I just have my paper towels. I'm just going to, that's why a cloth is better, not a paper towel. I can give it a good inspection to see where there's some spots that need redoing. Usually when I'm not on camera, my gloves would be off by now because I get frustrated with them and I just don't worry about it. Who knows what kind of chemicals are in there and what they're going to do to me in the long run. I don't know. I don't advise it, so it's kind of one of those do as I say, not as I do philosophies. My mom was really good at teaching me those. So there's another little spot right there. I'm going to take my lid off again and use my expensive stuff. I can't see where I was going with that, but right there. Look at that. I don't know what that is. It's like orange. Huh. It comes off. That's the main thing. Probably speed this up. Yep, here they go. They're coming off. I can't handle that another second. I'm almost done anyway. There we go, right there. That's being just a little bit more tricky for me. So let's see what's going on here. That will all polish off, and I will probably go in, well, I will go in before I list anything like this. I will go in with a fine-tooth comb and get every last little nook and cranny polished up. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go that far just because, but I will show the after video, or after picture, what it looks like in at the end of my video. I should have done a really nice before picture. That would have been smart. Nice construction. I like the piece. I guess it's a modernist. I think I called it brutalist when I did the video, but I can see how they made it. They hammered flat, drilled holes, hammer, hammer, hammer all the way around, probably with a nice piece of brass rod. That's definitely a nice little piece. It looks like the bezel is got it might be bronze. It's got a little more of a goldy tone to it, or not gold, pinkish, sorry, like a copper almost. Might be bearing a little more copper than the rest of the metal. You can definitely see the solder areas on it. When it tarnishes, it will blend in better. You won't even notice that. I think that's about as far as I'm going to go with that. As I keep on going. It's sometimes just hard to stop. Sometimes you have to declare something done. Maybe not finished, but done. If you know, you know. Just gonna move this and that. Put that aside. Yep, makes your hands nice and black. Very nice piece. Raphael, Canada. So if you made it for this far in the video, thank you very much for sticking around. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And I'd also just like to thank everybody that stuck around so far and watched my videos. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing them, and I have a lot of ideas for other videos. But if you have more ideas for me, by all means drop it down in the comments. I may list this for maybe around the 200 mark. Not bad for the $5 bag I got it out of. All in all, not a bad score. So thank you for watching, and take care.